Grazie. Dammi un altro cavo.
Iniziamo.
Me lo ricordo, lo posso mettere gli elementi di...
Dobbiamo, allora, multidimension array. So right now we have working with array of one dimension. Okay. Now we will see array multidimensional array that can be used as matrix for computing. Okay. So to define that, we can use it this way. For example, you can see here that we are using NumPy array to concatenate three lists to have one array which has 3 by 3. Okay, this is one way, but this is quite complicated because you have to put double parentheses and all these things. One interesting thing is that we can put all the numbers together and use reshape. We will see this later. By now, we have to know that to create a 3 rows by 3 rows array, we use like this. Let's say zeta equal np array, and now within parentheses we put 3 concatenate arrays. Say we put here this, and the first one we put 10, 20, 30. Seconda 9, 9, 9. La terza 0, 2, 3. Ok?
No, falta una cosa.
No.
Poi.
Oh, sorry. Yeah. Allora. Shape give the dimension of the array. Okay? Let's create that because we are going to operate with this. If we want to access first element, it's 0, 0. Okay? This is the 3 by 3. Okay. First element 0, 0. Last, we can access also last element minus 1, 1. Is like always. The first index is the row, the second, the column. The riga is the column. Okay? And we can change things like, let's say, 1, 2, no 2, okay? You can change the elements. We have, in NumPy have 2 very interesting arrays to create directly. One is all elements of 0, and the other is all elements 1. This is NumPy 0. And now we give the shape. We have to give the shape. We can say 3 by 3, okay? Or we can say 4 by 3, but also with an extra dimension, 4 by 3 and 3 more. It's a cube. Let's say this is a is 3 by 4 by 3. Okay. No, 3 by 3. Okay, the first is 4 arrays or 3 by 3. Okay, that means that is a cube. The first index, let's say. Okay, let's say it, and the same for now for ones. Okay, all one. So we have 4 arrays of 3 by 3, or let's say 2 by 3. Okay, this is 4 arrays of 2 riga and 3 columns. So we can storage. How can we access that? For example, multidimensional. So 0. So it's a third index. 1, 0, this is the first element. So, but we can change. Okay, please, that one. Or we want to change, let's say, this one. What could be? This is the 0, 1, 2, 3 third array. And this one. Okay? Multidimensional array. Okay, another way to make arrays of multidimension is with reshape. Let's say we know that command, this command, arrange, will give you 10 numbers between 0 and 9, right? So we can use reshape, or let's say 9 number, so we can reshape 3 by 3. Oh, let's use this one, reshape. And we say here how many rows and how many columns do we have. Okay? So in this case, the only possibility is 2 by 5, or 1 by 10, or 10 by 1, right? 2, 5. Okay? It's reshape. We can say what is the order also, if we want to order first the columns, because this is a single one, right? We can say, okay, first use to order first the column or the row or all this thing. In this case, because it's only an array, there is no meaning of that. But suppose that you have a matrix, for example, 3 by 3, you want to reorder in a different way. You have to say, you can say, okay, use the column to order or use the rows to order, to rearrange the array. So with reshape, we change the shape of any array, okay? And we think it's a tuple. This is a tuple with number of row, the riga, and column, okay? So we can ask what is the shape? Shape 2 by 5, okay? This is the access with the index that we have seen, okay. This is how to assign. We have seen this one, okay? It's clear how to work with the multi-array. Let's go to work with the files, okay? Reading and writing files. So there is 2 ways to reading and write files in Python. The easy way, if we have a formatted text, I mean, all the rows has the same number of columns, and there is no mixture between text and numbers, we can use numpy directly, and it reads and converts directly to array. Okay? But if we have a very complicated file, for example, the number of columns is different depending on the row, or it's mixtures number and string, we can use the usual way, which is open and read line by line. Okay, we are going to see both. So the general way, if we have this general way also can be used with a regular formatted text file. Okay. So let's open a file. So in F, this is a pointer that points to this file, and everything is going to write in the file. We have to use this variable. Okay, you can call this whatever you want. This is saying, okay, we are going to open in write mode. So if you have this text file, it's going to be erased. So be careful with that. If you do want to be erased, you put A to read. If you don't put anything, open directly by reading. So it's no problem if you forget about the W. If you want a new file, it's always W. Okay, writing. You open in writing. Opening in reading is R. Okay. If you want to open you have your file, but you want to read and then write at the end is open A. Okay? This thing. This is open in read and write. So it's going to read everything, and then it's going to erase and write whatever you want. Okay?
It's about write or append?
No. Read, and then write, not append.
Cioè it's
See,
file.
remove, yeah.
Okay.
See. But read first. Okay. Reading and writing. For example, let's go into to write our first file. So let's say fs equal open txt, whatever it you want, and write. If you don't say anything, it's going to give you an error because it doesn't exist. Okay? So no problem if you don't. So it assumes that the file exists if you don't say anything. So if you have the file, you don't need to say in reading mode. Okay? If you are going to read a file. But because it's not there, we want to write. Okay, file is open. Everything we want to do with the file, we have to do in this variable, whatever the name you put. So we can, what is this type? fs x text your wrapper. Okay, it's an open file. We can use for sure tabulator. We can close, we can detach, there are a lot of things. We can flash, new lines, read, we can ask seek to see, to go directly to one line, write, a lot of things. So, what are we going to do is write something. At first, write as easy as this. And the text, hi, I'm I'm writing extra point text to a file. Okay? But it's not right now. This is a very good thing because the file is written when you close.
Why it's a P51?
No, this is an output. This is okay. Something happened. So if something is wrong, it's going to give you an error. This is an output that this is associated with one operation. It's a number, what is internal number. Okay, but now it's not writing anything in the file. To write anything, actually, more test it's empty. Okay, the file is empty. This is very interesting because it saves a lot of access to the disk and write everything at the end when you finish. Okay, so let's finish F close, and now
If you do multiple writing, it
what do you mean multiple writing?
I am writing 1, I am writing 2, I am writing 3.
At the end,
At the end,
when you close.
they are written in the same order that you
Exactly.
Okay.
The same order, the same format. This is very interesting because it saves a lot of access to the disk and write everything at the end. Okay? Okay, so open. Let's open now the file.
And sorry, if you now open want to write something else,
something what?
Something else in the file, you have to open again.
Now again, yes. Now it's closed. If any operation here,
okay.
It say
You have to reopen.
yeah.
It's
You
like
have to
in-
reopen.
it's like in photo.
Once it's closed,
Exactly.
let's say
Questo è molto simile a photo.
okay. If we have fs is closed, so we cannot do anything. Let's say fs write here. Input output operation on close file. You have to open again. Okay. Once it's closed, you have to open again. I mean, there is a way that you don't need to close the file. I will show you later. Okay. Just when you go out of the loop, the close is automatically the file is automatically closed. So you don't need to close every time. So now let's open and add some text. Okay? So, but now we have to use append, A. Is this, but A. Okay?
There is difference in between capital and small letter, no? In Python.
Yes, for the variable is distinguished between small and capital.
And also for the command.
Yes, for the command. So we cannot use this because, okay? Because say nothing, okay? It's distinguished between, so you can have the same name variable, but one with capital letters and one with small letters. Okay, so we have this opening, and now we are going to write two empty lines, okay? So we use the escape character N, okay? Sorry, close this. Okay, look at this, another number, say, okay, I show you a number, so it's fine. Okay, and now a text with a new line. This is a new line. Okay? And this is a different one. Okay, and now we close. So the text, and because we open in append mode, we write two empty lines, and there's one line, another line. Okay?
And you put the slash n because you want another empty line. Otherwise it was not
Which one?
necessary. Last slash n.
Yes, that one is this one.
The
It's
empty one. Because if
this
you don't
one.
want, you know,
Yeah.
and in the case, when you wrote, you made the request to have two empty line. You wrote /n/n.
Yes.
It's possible to write number 2 /n is the same.
Look at that. This is the powerful of Python. Let's open again. Okay? And now, how many lines do you want?
Okay, 50.
Okay.
It's 45.
Okay.
Okay? So we have a 50 empty line at the end. Okay? So it's like this, because remember that this, so it's going to take this, exactly this, okay? This 50 times this. Be very powerful to write any formatted text. Very powerful. Okay. Okay, let's use, now suppose that we have a very specific formatted text that uses the same number of columns for each line. So and we want to operate with that. If we read a file with open, it's always text. It's converted to text. By default, Python reads in text file. So you have to convert to floats or whatever. But if we use NumPy, it reads converted in arrays and directly in number. So if we want to operate with columns or matrices or whatever, we can use NumPy. But for example, if the file is very, very, very large, 15 million rows, it's not a good idea probably to have everything in number, because in the memory it could collapse everything. Because in text, the size of the text is much lower. So if you want, for example, just operate with one column, read everything with this, with open, and then only convert one column to that, in number, okay? But you want to, if the file is short and you want to operate with all the columns or whatever, use NumPy. We are going to practice with some files that I have put it in the course. Now we are going to write a file using NumPy. which is very easy. Okay, so we are going to import only two functions on NumPy. So we can remember that before we have not imported everything in NumPy with an alias np, but we can import only two functions if we want, like this. From NumPy import this function, we have used it before, and exponential function. So let's do it.
How I can do what are the function included in NumPy?
Dir.
Cioè,
Sì, sì, you use dir NumPy, for example, import NumPy, dir NumPy, all the function.
C'è una
O
pagina
con tabulatore.
che ti dice tutto.
NumPy, tabulatore, così, o con dir, ok? Yeah, because there are a lot.
Sì, ma non conviene, la cosa migliore è avere una pagina dove, perché c'è spiegato tutto, ce ne sono così tante.
Ma
ogni
sì.
modulo ha tante funzioni.
Tutta la funzione. Okay? So we are going to import X and arrange. So let's do it. I'm going to remove everything in the memory. Clear. Sorry, erase. No, sorry, it's not clear. Clear is what is that? It's not clear. Reset. Okay, reset, remove all the variables you have now. So be careful because once deleted, the variable cannot be recopied. Okay, proceed? Yes. And start over. First, let's import arrange and exponential. From NumPy, import arrange. From NumPy, import exponential. We can say, for example, for NumPy, import arrange as RP, for example. So instead of using the long name arrange, we will use RP, which is not necessary. Okay, let's open a file, a new file to write. Out equal open data txt, cubidad, whatever, it doesn't matter, okay? Detail txt in writing, okay? And now we are going to write the integer and the exponential of that value. Remember, arrange this will create 100 number from 0 to 99. It's going to write the exponent, the number, and the exponential. So let's say for E in NP arrange 100, okay. What can we do? 2 points. Now go to the new line.
Ma noi l'abbiamo importato come arrange, non come NumPy, NP. Quindi posso, posso anche usare solo arrange.
Yeah, you are right. Sì. Giusto.
Però l'import precedente, quello che avevamo fatto all'inizio, non questo, quello
no,
che
reset
adesso se tu avessi fatto NP non l'avrebbe capito. Okay.
Scusa, ma c'è un vantaggio a importare solo alcune funzioni?
Sì, per la
memoria.
Sì, because different library could have the same function. So they could overlap with one another. Okay, so if you want only a function, just you can import just one. You don't need to import everything, so you clear the memory, whatever. But you can also import everything. So whatever. So for this in arrange, so we have we will write f out, right? Because we call this file. And now the format. Integer and float in every line. Okay? So we say integer 10.4 float, a new line. Now, the number, the variable is, oh sorry, okay? So E is going to take all the values in this output between 0 and 99, okay? So here, for each value in E is going to be write E and the exponential, which is x, okay? That's it. Finito.
Sorry, in the format, it's not important spaces or...
No, you can, yes, also you can put, if you put a space between this and this, it's going to put a space.
Okay.
So yeah, you can use the space,
Okay.
for sure. Okay. Nothing is there because it's not closed, okay?
Ok.
If I want that the number are ordered,
Ordering which one? What do you mean?
align it on the left, on the right, sorry.
Oh, you can use the format, for example, with that one that we showed you before, with the special format of
Okay.
you say the number 10, for example. You want to keep 10 spaces, for example. This is ordering in the left, but if you want on the right, you say 10 integers, space 10. We can do that. Okay, open again. Let's say 50 or 20, okay? There.
No.
What do you mean?
I would like that the second column is, because you see, in this way the numbers are attached.
Yes, this is because we are using a float for a we say 10, so you have to modify the second one, not the first one, okay? See, because this is or use an exponential.
Okay.
For example, this is the second number, okay? Let's use an exponential. Say here 20, sorry. This is not so, we don't need so many here. Say 5, because it's 100 only, it's 1 to 100. This is necessary only with 4, okay?
4 or 5 is the number of element that are
yeah,
associated
the space that you give. Or you can give also some space here, okay? Here we go, okay? Okay, so now let's read the data. We have this data, we want to read it. The file is closed, so if file open reading, what's the name? That. Read. Okay. This is the usual way without NumPy. Let's see that. We will see now with NumPy. And now, so all the operation must be done in file, which is keep where is the text file that we want to open. And we say for each line here, do whatever. So this is going to take line by line of this file, because this is pointing to this one. It's going to be line by line, and there in each line you can do whatever you want. You can split the line. It's going to read the line in text mode. It's going to read all the line. So if the separation between one column and another is empty space, you say this one. So take the line and split that whole line, split using empty, like the empty space like a separation.
Sorry, stupid question. Len is the name of the variable, or is it?
No, len is the string of each line.
But you can call it as you want.
Sì,
It's not a
You can call as you want.
Okay.
All the variables in Python you can call as you want, except if they are commands. But you can use alias for a command also, so no problem. So let's do this and print, only print. We are going only to print. What is the output? We'll say for L in file, okay, print ml, okay? Printed every line. Doesn't do anything else. We haven't storage this thing. And now, which is that
File.
file is open. We close. Let's do it again. Okay, and now let's go in. Okay, now what we want is to save this in some place. Okay, each line in some place. What we can do is, we could do this, for example. Let's say my data that is equal. Now what he's going to do is take this line, which is a string. Let's do this. Let's save all the string here, because this is every time that is going to
I don't
go.
understand because there is a mistake there. There is a type. It's a linear. Where is
Yeah, that is an error. Yeah, should be linear.
Okay.
Yeah. This should be not linear because it's not defined.
Okay.
So let's do it and see what is storage in this variable. It's going to erase every time that is going through this loop. It's going to keep the last one only. Okay. Okay. What is that? Which should be the last one. It's a text with the format even. Okay. So directly we can use. You take this line and save with like a string. We don't need to think about the format. Suppose that you have a file that you want to only to modify something, but keep the rest of the format. You read like this, and now you save. You can say print that is directly, or you save directly to the file again without changing the format. You don't care about the format. You read like a string, okay? But we want to operate with that. We want to storage in a database, in a different array. But because we don't want to erase each one, we have to create an empty list and feed that list with each line. Not this. We are going to read all this line at once, but we want to separate this by this. Because it's a string, we can split like this. Easy. So it takes, split, and convert directly to a list. The first element here, and the second element here. Still strings, okay? Because everything in Python is read like a string, except with NumPy that can be read direct to number. Okay? So let's do this. Let's say, again, let's close file. Let's create an empty list. And now, what should we do? Append, right? Remember? So you're going to take every line, split separately, and save here. Oh, sorry, we have to open. That's it. That is a list. We want to convert to NumPy because we want to operate with that. No, we didn't Okay, so let's import. Okay, so we have converted that to an array with this shape, underline, 2 columns. Now we can operate. We have to because we have converted a string. We have not read it directly. We have converted a list of a string to NumPy. Remember that we can do both. If we have a list of number with NumPy, NP array convert to a number. If we have a list of string, NumPy convert an array of string. But we want to convert this to numbers. So that equals that as type floats. Now we have floats. Okay. We can do this directly with NumPy. Directly like this. New dat equal np float txt and the name data, because we are using ipython. You can use tabulate, so it's going to show you what is there, so you don't need to search. So it say, okay, here in this file you have this thing, data in this location. That's it. You don't need to open, you don't need to close. Everything now is here. Directly converted to number.
Se ha cioè può avere una header il file.
Come?
What if the file has a header?
Oh, if the file starts with hashtag, doesn't
No
matter.
problem. Still read with that.
But you can skip line also.
Okay. I can also say I can skip first and second line.
np load
Okay.
txt you can say what are the comments, you can say skip rows, okay? Number of rows of keep, you can say they type convert directly to this type, so a lot of things. Max rows, you can say, okay, read only this number of rows, so it's very powerful.
Skip rows means 0 lines or
0 line?
the first line?
No, it's the number of lines.
Okay,
The number of lines. So 0 is no
Okay.
skip anything. Skip anything. Okay? Okay. There is a way to read file without need of closing. It's very simple. Let's do this. Let's going to create an empty array, but instead of doing this, open the file, what we need is this. With open the file as a filler, as we say, do the rest, what we have doing. For link in filler, data open, link, split. Okay? The file is closed. Now, you don't need to close. Using with open, because with the loop is ended, go out and close the file. So now data is a list. Okay, because we have read it with open, not with NumPy. Data is a list, type data, but we can convert to an array, np array data as type float. Data now is float, and is an array, and is a matrix, so we can operate. The same with NumPy, we can save data directly. Okay? Let's say we have data here. We can use save text key. So we need to give only the name of the file and our matrix. That's it. We can use the format we want, but directly we save in that format. So let's do this one. New data, date, and that. What's that? I think it's called that. Yeah, save it. That's it. We don't need open. We don't need to close. Here we go. One thing. It's saved not by column, saved by row. So if we have two columns in our variable, numpy save take is going to take the first column and put in the first row, and the second column in the second row. There is no problem because we can read again with numpy, and directly it's going to take the first row as the first variable and the second row as the second variable. Okay, so this is very quick way to save, but it's not in the same way that you expect in the variable. To do that, it's better to use the usual way, open with and write with format, with the format you want. Okay. Okay, this is the same. Okay. Now I have uploaded 4 types of files in the classroom, so try to read those files.
Come se li chiamo?
Sì,
Sì, me l'ha spiegato. Sì, devi aprirli in una, quando ti
Esterna,
dice una finestra esterna, e allora quella ti dà l'opzione di scaricarli. Allora tu entri, poi vai là nei puntini, ti dice dettagli e sotto apri una
sì.
a quel punto
The split with anything is the separation is tab or empty space. Is the same. With tab.
If I find
Google, no?
and I want to find this first column as it says that I want from 1 to 100, but not with an exponential.
Oh, you say
I want the second column
float or whatever.
Yes, but the first has
You can do with numpy or with the usual way. With numpy. Save txt. You keep the format here.
Ah, okay.
Okay?
Just passing the format.
Yeah, passing the format.
Okay.
And with the other way, just with the usual one, write and format and variable. Okay, so we have there are 4 texts, different texts. One more easy, one more complicated. Let's do the first one. Read file 1. So we have file 1 txt.
Okay.
This is very easy. Okay, the first one, it has a comment column,
Okay.
3 columns, the same number of columns each row. The easy way is numpy, right? Forget about this, it's not going to take into account because it starts with hashtag. So it's going to skip automatically. So
Qual era? Aprirlo, leggerlo.
Leggelo.
Quindi devo andare a scaricare?
Devo aprire un finestra. Faccio solo. Enter su. Poi clic.
Qui.
Poi vai su drive.
Ecco.
Ok. Poi vai su.
Non devo salvare.
Clicca. E ti dice apri su un'altra finestra. Tutto?
No, non mi dice. Adesso faccio
Il primo è facile,
sì. Apri su un'altra finestra.
con NumPy.
Non salvare. Allora lo scarico.
Sì, carica.
Scaricare.
Scaricato. Sì, scaricato.
No, salvare, devo
Oh,
salvare.
salva.
Lo salvo col nome? Dove
Sì,
lo
con
metto?
nome. Sì,
Però dove lo metto adesso?
dove possa essere
Download.
terminato.
Non lo ricordo. Come faccio a trovare? Allora, se io ho qui. E a questo punto cosa dobbiamo fare?
PWD,
È il secondo?
Sì.
qui.
Bisogna di...
Salva.
Bisogna di...
Ampi.
Non l'ho scaricato ma non lo scrivo.
Ah, perché?
Perché sei demasiado rilassato.
No, ma
No, no, io sto vedendo, mirando che la cosa.
NumPy lo ha text.
Pronto?
Bene?
Ah, quindi...
User. Sì. Così.
Devo prendere qua.
Salva.
Ok.
Prova.
A
Prova.
questo punto.
ls nome. ls nome. No, come si chiama? Rifile. Yeah, perfilo 1. Sì. Legge? Come va?
Ok.
Bene.
Ok, a questo punto A questo punto, secondo
ok.
file, sto secondo
Bene,
file.
secondo
C'è da
file.
mettere un format, cosa c'è da fare? Con un for?
Aspetta, non so.
Perché c'è un...
Qualcosa è.
C'è un po' di tutto, un po' di spinta.
Sono c'è anche del testo così. Se faccio un semplice dice non può convertire. Ok.
E il va a leggere il fichiero dove sta il folder, dove ha visto il terminale.
Sì, stai, sì, dove sta il terminale. O puoi aggiuntare tutto il path.
Con open a questo punto. Ok. Allora, che dovevamo
Bene.
fare noi?
Primo è con NumPy lo ha text.
Ah, non lo guardo, c'è.
Sì, NumPy, MP o. Allora. Il primo, il migliore è con NumPy.
Il primo è andato.
Il secondo invece è un open.
Sì, sì, perché la misura è
Ok. Che dovevamo fare noi? Qual era l'obiettivo?
leggere il file.
Leggere il file.
Leggere il file.
Perché non busca il file? Sì, sta qua. Il file 1.txt. Ma quello sta dove da sotto. E l'ho fatto partire qui.
Bene? Problemi?
Sì, non mi busca il fichiero.
Ma sta
Il
il
fichiero sta nel desktop. E il fichiero lo apri dal desktop.
No, aspetta.
Devi fare...
Ha un ls. PWD there. PWD.
Solo aprirli, Sebastian.
Il no e un ls nome. Ok?
Solo aprirli.
Solo aprirle. Solo aprirle. No, leggere. Leggere il leggere.
Quindi, sì, non stavo io faccio apro.
Ok.
Poi faccio questo, lo leggo. E devo mettere
No, sì,
qui
ma
qualcosa.
il primo è con migliore con NumPy. Perché è un formato solo numero la header commente, il migliore è con NumPy. Così m equal text read file 1 txt. Ok? Oh, sorry. Import
La data del cambio di direttore.
NumPy
Successo.
Ho capito. L'ha fatto. Ok.
load text.
Basta,
Ok?
vuoi dire una cosa?
Sì. So, il primo è così. Load text. Easy peasy.
Sì. E il figlio sta in desktop.
Dove sta?
In desktop.
Ok.
Cambia il direttore con desktop.
Sì.
E in Python non ne sale.
Non sale.
Non è eseguito. Se cambia il direttore non parte
Ah, sì, sì. Ah, perché se sta in tu home, che se, così, come si chiama? LS. Dove sta? Tu? No, no, è il,
dove sto io ora? In
sì,
desktop sto.
ma desktop. Aspetta. User. So così. User. Santica, sì. Il Python.
Ah, ok. Ma si può ponere che sto.
Sì, lo puoi ponere. Bene? Il secondo è molto ma difficile, più difficile. Molto. Perché è una mistura di stringa e numero. Intentiamo di leggere con il NumPy, non è possibile. Ok? So, il primo facile, load txt è il nome. Bene? Santi? Perfetto? Il secondo, un open. Ok? La seconda colonna è il nome, è stringa. Non è possibile aprire con open with NumPy.
E questo, scusa se
Sì. Questo è prima è una lista a salvare la lettura with open with file 2 as filler for in filler, so this is the pointing to this, and each line in the here append split, because ok, così. Empty the separation between columns is empty space, so nothing in split.
okay.
Nothing means
Okay.
the separation are between columns are empty. No, nothing, any character. Finito. M è una lista. Perfetto. It reads everything, including the header. Okay?
Ah.
What if we want to skip the header? Filler read line. Each read line, skip one line. Read, and because we don't save, let's say maybe we want to keep the header, right? This is the header, so it's going to open the file. It's going to read the first line, which is a header, read line, keep the full line, and it's going to keep in H. For the rest of line, it's going to open the values.
Aspetta, non intendo il comando with.
Sorry?
Perché with?
Because we use this, so at the end of the loop, we don't need to close. It says, do this when this is open. Once this is finished, the loop, close. So with this, we have, so this is the command. So first create an empty list. Open, we say, okay, open the file and do this. Once all this is finished, close the file. So with this open, so this is pointing to this file. Okay, so first in this file, which is, it's pointing now is called filler, I call it that one, read the full line and save here in this variable. This is the header, the first line. We can repeat again, and it's going to read each line. Now for the second line and following, for each line in the rest of the file, save here, append to the list, the split of each line. Now we have M, only the data, H, the header. So we can do that, for example. We can.
I'm trying to understand the philosophy. Filler, what is?
Filler is the filler is the memory variable that pointing to this one. So you need is the same in Fortran is open unit. Filler is the unit, okay? So you work with the unit, not actually with the name of the file. So filler is pointing to this file in the directory that you are, the real file. And everything you want to do with the file, you do with the pointing, with the pointer, the filler, okay?
E se, scusa Sebastian, filler.readline, cos'è una funzione readline?
Sì.
Io posso fa uno skip solo della prima
solo la prima. Non è un skip. Read because legge.
Solo una riga, oppure gli posso dire io tutto, un parametro leggi
sì, loop. A loop, you can put a loop of 5 lines.
Ok, ma
Total is plural. Read lines, legge tutto.
Tutto il file.
Tutto il file.
Okay, so read line reads the first line.
One, the first, the second, whatever. You got that line in that moment. For example, we can put here.
Se hai già detto qualcosa prima, e ti
sì, è la prima. To repeat, see, if you repeat this, it's going to read again. Or if you put at the end, it's going to read the last one. Or you can use this one. For example, okay, we want everything, okay? Read lines. It reads all, and it's here. Read lines, plural, everything is there, like a text. It always reads the text, okay? Now, so we have and our data, but we want to use something here because now it's text. We want to convert this column, this array to text. Let's convert to text like this. So we can use this one, M. Let's do K. Okay. Now is an array. It consists in several lists. Okay. So, but okay. So now, because we have a mixture of numbers and strings, we need to know in the reading process what are we interested on. Okay. So maybe we want to read only the first column, the second, or whatever. So we can do that in the reading process. Let's do again. Okay, so we want to skip the first line because it's the header. And we want only the first column. Okay? So in the split, we are, because there are 3 columns, it's going to split in 3. So we want only the first. Okay? Index 0. Okay? Okay. Oh, sorry, it's not there. The file has an empty line at the end. Okay, so this is because it's going to read an empty line. Okay, so be careful with that. So maybe, for example, this empty line is going to have to give some problems because at the last line have no columns, only one, which is white. It's an empty one. So we cannot separate. We can separate all the line except the last one. But at the end, if we are going to ask for the first column, it's going to give an error because there is an empty line. Okay, so we can do this. We can save again. Open this one and save everything. Keep everything in here. Okay, like always. Okay, so now we want to take only the first column. So M is like this. What is M0? M0 is the first line. M1 is the second, okay? But for the first line we want this one, for the second line we want this one, okay? So we can create a loop, so go line by line and take only the first one, because we want the first column. No? Now everything is read in M, it's a list, okay? So we can say for val in M, it's going to take line by line, okay? We want our data, we want to storage there. And now we say for val in m. So it's val is going to be this one the first time, this one the second, and so on. That happens only the first one. So this one, okay? Okay? No, this is going to give an error because n, the last one, look at this. The last row is empty, so it's going to have an error. But I will show you how to save that. Okay? This is the error. So we don't want to reach the last one, okay? So that is everything there, but give an error because reaching the last line give an error. At the end we have read what we are interested, but maybe if this is within a code, it's going to stop because this error, okay? It's going to stop the code. That is not going to follow in the next sentence. Command. So what we can say is, let's say again this one. What should we say? Up to the last, except the last one, okay? No error. So we have read our column. We can convert now to float. And that's it. Okay? So this is a more complicated case. So we cannot use the NumPy way already because it's a mixture of number and letters. But we can still read it like this. Okay? We have another file. Let's try this next one. So this is exactly the first one, but instead of empty space has comma. So now the split, we need to say to the split, okay, the separation is the comma. So let's do again, but now split with the comma. We can do this in two ways, with open, but also with NumPy, because np loa txt delimiter we can say is comma here directly, okay? So we can say read 5.3 easy peasy directly, but we have to specify which is the delimiter. Directly is read it like this, or in the other way we can read with the usual open with file 3 file, skip the header, so we storage there, and here the split is comma virgule. Okay, it's reading. So this is the first one. See, because the separation is comma, now the space is storage in the variable, but nothing is not a problem. And also this one, the escape character are also storage. Okay, so we can convert. No. Okay. Oh. Directly. So we can convert an array NumPy. So this is m. We have read with this command, using the split, we have reads m in this one. But the NumPy can handle this thing, okay, and the empty space. So everything is converted like this. MP array, we want to convert m to float. That's it. Okay. Now the last one, more difficult one. This is different number, it's mixture, text, letter, and different number of rows, of columns for rows. So we have a header, empty space, text, columns, empty column here. So we want to read this thing. So how can we do that? We need something about, for example, we can say, okay, if we can say everything, read the full thing, and now work with the list, okay? Like this, for example. I'm going to read everything in the easy way. So everything there. With a split? No, I want to split it. Okay, so let's say no green line. Okay. This way, okay? Empty space. This is what we have. Interesting because we can, there are several lists. The first list is the first row of this list. This is a nested list. I mean, it's a list which contains different lists. The first list is the header. The second is an empty line in the header. This is the third one, and this is the value. It doesn't matter, it reads everything. When you have two columns, you have a list only with two values. When you have three values, no problem. So now you can search, for example, for those lines with for those lists that have at least three values, and remove the other. For example, let's say this is our for list st in m. Okay, we want to first that we want to save everything in date. So in this list, so we create an empty one, and we say for ls not because it's a command, list in that if length this one is greater than 2, keep it. Oh, it's better. It's M. I'm sorry. That is 20. 4. We read the file like this. Okay. Okay. Now we have selected those files with 3 columns. Very easy. Okay. Not this thing. Okay. But maybe we don't want this thing also. Okay. What could we do?
But remove the row with the no third column.
The what?
No. When the third column is empty,
Yes.
Is discard.
Discard.
Okay.
But we can, if maybe we want to keep in a different way, in
Okay.
another variable. Let's say that 3 columns, we are going to storage 3 columns there. 2 columns here, and temperature, temp here, right?
Okay.
Let's do it. So 4. If this is 3, append here. Elif, len, no,
Equal to?
if lst second, what's the name? Temp? Def. So this is first. Def, temp, append. We keep the last one, which is the temperature, okay? Because the first is 10, second is the equal number. Okay, this is the temperature. Okay? Oh, sorry. This is double equal, okay? Because it's a comparison. And finally, because we have something empty here. Yeah, this one. So we have to deal with that. It's difficult. Okay. If this is larger than 0, okay, and if it's larger than 0, then let's ask then we can do that only if it's larger, okay, and we can modify this also. And zero, okay. Oh, 2 point where?
If
Here. Okay, that 3, all 3, that 2, all 2, and then temperature. Power. So we can read very complicated file.
In that 3 c'era anche la linea con def eccetera.
Come?
Se ne sopra in that 3?
Sì.
Che ha fatto solo la selezione. Esatto, perché aveva fatto solo sulla
selezione della temperatura.
Quindi rimane
a chi?
La prima parte è solo maggiore di 2, quindi rimane anche tutto quanto. Ok, sì.
Bene. Ok.
Sì, no, infatti per fare. Dipende da quello che vuoi fare. Se lo vuoi togliere tutto.
So we work here with CSV file and JSON file. Who works here with CSV and JSON files. So we can export also our data to JSON and CSV file, just using 2 modules, JSON and CSV. It's as easy like that. So JSON is very useful if we work with dictionaries and CSV if we work with comma-separated tabulated data or comma-separated data. For example, we can create, it's very easy, so we import CSV file, import CSV module, and now we create the header for CSV data. For example, we have 4 columns, so this is a list with this header, okay? And now we append the values of the columns, right? So we can write a CSV file like this. So we open the CSV file and we use this command, CSV writer file, open in CSV and write the rows, and that's it. For JSON, the same. JSON is very useful to when we work with dictionaries. So for JSON, and we read how to read a CSV file. We open like this, and we use CSV, which is our module reader, on the pointer, which is this. And now everything is saved here. Okay? With JSON, we create a dictionary. We know how to do that right now. To save the dictionary is as easy as this. We open the file and we use JSON dump. Name of the variable and the name of and the pointer of the file. Okay, this is equal to this one, and that's it. It's safe in JSON format. So to read, we can use JSON loads like this. Okay. Another very interesting thing. Any question about JSON or CSV? Is using tabulate to write directly in LaTeX format for a table. So we can use tabulate. So let's say that we have, let's do this because it's very interesting. Let's say from tabulate, okay, let's say, okay, instead of doing this, we are going to read one of the files which has 3 columns, no? Okay, so let's say the easy one, txt, okay, here file 1. File 1 txt. I'm going to convert list because we need that's a tabulate to work with list. So M now is a list. 0. Okay, it's alright. Okay, I'm going to read it in a different way. I don't want this right here. Okay, so we have this one. It's a list, okay? Now we want to print a table in LaTeX for a paper or whatever, no? So we use tabulate. From tabulate, import tabulate. That's the name. So now we say print tabulate, and we give all the elements in our list. T for T in M. Now we give the headers a list. Let's say one is flux, second is percentile. Let's say 5 percentile. Yeah, 95 for example. 95. These are the header, right? tablet format, latex. There we go. 1, 2, 3. And tabulate. Oh, here. Ah, sorry. Oh, oh, sorry. See. Yeah, it's print because tabulate. Yeah, it's not this thing. Sorry. Okay. 1, 2. Open the flux. Something's not closed here.
No. 2 open, 3 close. So actually,
yeah, 2 open. Oh, yeah, that's
3
one.
close.
I haven't removed this thing. This one. Okay. Directly in copy and paste. So there are a lot of things we tabulated that you can for HTML formatted, for wiki page, wiki, whatever. Okay. I think this is the last part, flow control statement. Here it's very easy because we are going to see how it works if, the usual for, while, okay? So, control the flux. So if, is as always, is used to check if a condition is fulfilled. If that's happening, print. So notice that we have to, Python work always is very type setting. So if, let's say x minus 1, if x is less than 0, 2 points, and now we have to give for space always. Always after a loop, and this is 2 points indicating is starting a loop, we give 4 empty spaces, okay? This is because it's IPython do automatically, but when you are writing a code, maybe you are using a very modern text operator that do by yourself. Print, yes, okay, that's it. This is field as usual. Okay, so this is if. Oh, elif is as always. So if elif is work like go to the first condition, goes to the second. If this condition is fulfilled, don't go further. Okay, it's like elif x equal to 0. No. So what happened here? So it's going to check the first one. Else okay. So here it's going to check the first one. If the first one is fulfilled, don't look at the rest because we have an elif here. Okay. We're going to, if the first one is not fulfilled, go to the second, and if it's fulfilled, stop. So it's not needed to go to all the sentence. Okay. Okay. For is the usual for. So for could go. So take this element and go through all this. This could be a number, could be an element of the list, whatever. This could be a list, or could be an array, a tuple, whatever. Okay? So if we have words like this one, okay, for W in words, print W. Okay, so go through all the list. If we want to an index that go through the list, what we can do is create an MP arrange of length words. So this is going to go through the index, okay? So because we take length of words is 3, a range of 3 is 0, 1, and 2. So this is printing 0, 1, 2. But we don't need to create, if we have a list, we don't need to create an index that goes through the list. Usually it's enough to go directly through the list, okay? Okay, so we can work with that. We have seen this, insert, it's the same. Why? So this condition, the loop is computed until the condition is fulfilled. So let's say, if we say count equals 0, while count is less than 6, print count, and now we can add a numbers to count. Count equal count plus 1. Stop when count is less than 6. Okay. Another way to do that, to add a number, is like this. Okay, let's say count 0 again. This is the same effect. Oh, sorry. This is this is the same. So count plus equal 1, no spaces, show the same. Okay. Instead to do this. We can use while not also, a negative condition, okay? But this is not happening to this. For example, 0 while not equal to 5, print with format x equal d and x. So we are telling print x equal to the value, okay? Oh, we forget to add. So this is infinite loop. Go see. X plus 1.
X plus a equals 1.
Or 1.
Okay.
Okay. So print x. Okay. Okay, be careful when we compare floats, because internally could be actually different. Okay, let's check that. For example, x 0.0, okay? While not x equal to 1.0, let's add 1, 0.1, so in some time should be equal, right? X equal d 13.74, okay? N on X. Never, because we are comparing two floats. So in the internal precision is not the same. So be careful with that. So we have to convert to integer if we want to compare, or our condition less than equal, less or equal, something like that. Okay. Break and continue loops. So continue the break, stop the loop if the condition is fulfilled. Okay. So we don't know when this is going to happen, but in how many loops, but we want that a variable reach some value, stop. So what is going to do this is not going, once this is, the division is 0, the remaining is 0, is not going to go all those numbers. For example, this is very simple to search for prime, number primes. These 4 lines search for number prime. Verify if a number is a prime number. Okay, so let's say, okay, for example, this is input is a input text by the terminal. Let's say P equal input, give me a number, and now it's going to show the text and you show the number. Let's say that one. We want to, so P is a string, because usual way to read in Python is a string, so we want to convert to integer like this. So we want P, we can say like this, some kind of fancy one, int, so the result is an integer, okay? So P now is an integer, okay? Now we want to check if this is a prime number. So what we want to do is divide for all the number between 2 and that number to see if integer, right? Sorry, to see if a prime number. So for n in NP range 2p to okay. For x in NP range to n, so we are going to divide for all the number between 2 and its own number. Oh, sorry. If this result is 0, break, because we know that this is not a prime. We don't want to continue for all. Okay? This is because we are using break. So stop this thing. Okay? Sorry, this is x. Break and leave x equal n minus 1. So this is to test print n is a prime number.
You wrote a range without n.
Yeah. Here.
No, in the upper 2 lines. RH. Even
Oh,
if,
yeah, that's true.
also in the first one.
Okay, all the prime number between these two. Okay, between that number and the number. It's very easy. Okay, this is very quick. This is the same. Continuing. Continuing is just don't stop anything. That usually, if you want a loop that do nothing, you want an option that want to inform you, but not only for that do nothing, you can put the sentence continue, that is following, doing the loop. Okay, this is a very simple for found even or odd number. Okay, and now very easy. I think we are reaching the end. Yeah, so very easy, because this is very powerful, but because we know how is the flow of the code, it's very easy to put all the thing in a function that we want to define. The function, the user-defined function, are done. We write that with def, the number of the function, and the arguments here, and the rest is what we know. Python code. That's it. Let's create this one, the sphere function. Okay. Def sphere like this with one argument. Okay. So it calculates the parameter of a sphere of radius r. So we have now we write within we have P, this is P times R, okay? Sup is the, longitude is 2 times peer, superfice is 4 times P times peer, see, which is equal to R squared, okay? Or the volume is superfice times R divided by 3, okay? And here return is necessary. That is going to give back what we want, okay? In this case we want longitude. We can do it this way: long, sup, or vol, or just directly in a list. For example, like this, okay? All the internal variables keep inside the function. So we will not have peer, this outside the function, okay?
The comma.
Okay. What is this?
After sup. After sup,
yeah.
comma.
Okay, now we call, because we call sphere 2.3, and we return it to give the result. Longitude, superfice, and the volume. That is the way to define the function. Def, name, and the arguments. So we have some example here. Okay. So we can, if we save, let's assume that we have write this function, so we save to a text file. Okay, it's as easy like that. So we can import our own function like a Python module, like this. So let's say we can say, for example, import my function, because we have saved this like with that number, with any number, like this. Let's take, I don't know, beam, fun, my fun, pi, okay? It's important to call pi. Okay, I'm going to save this one. Okay. Okay. P. P, radius 20. Sorry. P. Should be what here, no? My phone. Oh, sorry. Yeah. Import my phone. Yeah. SP now is Sphere. Let's call it Sphere, okay? Yeah. Oh, because we have not imported numpy. We have used numpy in our file. We should add here. Here at the top, because we are using numpy here, right? We need that. Under that, we can define another function like, let's say, def exponential, which is give a exponential, for example, a function, let's say, number, and we give return np exp n. Okay? Yeah. So we have now two functions. Okay, so we have sphere, SP. Sphere. Sorry. Sphere and SP. And we call the second function that we have TF. Yep. Okay. So we can have our library of function and call in this way. Okay. Okay. Very interesting. Also in Python, only in Python 3, is recursive function that call itself. For example, here. It's very easy, for example, to make a Fibonacci series. So we have defined our function, something if n is equal to 1, return 1, and if this is 0, return 0. In other case, call again the function, okay, and add the number, okay, until this is 0 or 1, which will return 0, okay. So you can call a function within a function. The same function. The same for factorial, for example. This is very easy to make a factorial. You know, you define the function and you call the function within. Okay, so how to run a Python code? It's very simple. You create your program like this, okay? Let's go with it. Let's create a simple program, print cl Python, okay, and put pro.py. This is our program, pro.py, okay? So we can call with Python 3 name pro.py. That's it. Or we can, if we want to make this executable, without using Python 3, we use the standard procedure, which is to add the syntaxes and the interpreter. For example, this one, okay? So we use this, okay, Python 3, okay? That's the way, that's it. Is there, okay? So what we need now, we make executable the pro.py, okay? Pro.py. Okay, this is very interesting, more interesting. So let's think about a program that needs different inputs every time. So you don't need to edit the code, change the input, and save again, run. We want to give that input variable in the same moment we call the program. Okay. For example, let's do this with our simple program, bin pro.py. Let's go to remove this one. Okay, so this is made with a module called argparts, argument parts. So we import argparts, okay. Now import numpy. For example, if we want to work with numpy in our code, and now we set up the elements that are can change. First line is always like this. Parser, we storage that. Parser equal to arg parse argument parser, okay? Yeah, and now we add an argument with this. So in the command line, if we give -n a number, it's going to take that number to the variable n, or this one to that variable. Now we want to change this to anything. For example, okay, this print, we should say like this: parser add argument. Okay, and now this is what identified the argument string. This is nome, for example. Okay, you can say, you can put like this. You can say, okay, I can use -n, or I can use -number. Several choices, but always going to save in the same storage. You can make put a help. You say input string, okay, type string. If it is required or not, if it's mandatory to give or not. Let's say this is mandatory. Required true. Okay, that's it. Let's add another one. Parser add argument value. Put some number. But in this case, we don't need. It's not mandatory to give that number. Let's do it like this way. Okay. So we don't. It's not necessary to say required files, because by default it's not mandatory, because it's start with minus. Okay.
Argument.
Sorry.
The second argument.
The second argument. Okay. Argument.
Sorry, what is the meaning? You have -n and minus number. So
because you can give a short version -n or a long version minus number. You can give any of them.
So the double minus means
optional. You can give -n number minus n and a value, or minus number and a value. It's your choice. So sometimes this is used to remember what is it. It's more long, so you have more knowledge about what it's asking for. And when you know what is you are using this code very useful, you don't need to write minus number. It's an option. So okay. So now we pass take. It's going to take all this argument and put here in args. So we say args, storage here, parser, parse args, parser. Oh, sorry, okay, there's a mistake here. No, parser. It's okay. Yeah, parser args. Okay, and now all the input is going to be here in one variable. Okay? If you say one thing is a string, it's going to read like a string. If it's a float, like a float. Okay, maybe we want to put this here like a type. We expect a float here. Type float. Okay? If given, it's not need to be. So, okay. So what can we do now? So now, let's say the text is the args nome. So we take this one and read to text define, and because the second one is not given, we can we want to ask if exists. And if not exist, assign a default one. No? Actually, we can put a default value here, like this. Default, just in case we don't give any. Okay? 3 or 0.0. In case we don't give, it's going to take that one. Okay? So now we can number x value. Okay, and we want to print this thing. We want to print the text. For example, this is the text string. This is the number. Okay, let's do something with the number. Num, just to be, let's say num equal. Let's go to calculate the square, the potential. Okay. Okay. This is the text, and this is the square number. And float, okay? And we give now what we want. Here we should be txt and num. That's it. Now this is accepting. Let's test. Okay, we save. Hope everything is okay. Okay. So what if we do now Python 3 pro.py without anything? Gives you the help. Okay, this is the way to use it. The program is telling you using this way. So you have to give -h is help. Give help. Num input string, and value, put some number. Let's do it. Let's say and this is nome, Okay? One is nome. And what happens if we give only those things? Take by default what is missing. Okay? But if we want to give what is the value? 3. Okay. So this is very interesting way to make code that you can run with different input value. You don't need to edit every time. Okay, okay, this is the last thing. Just how some very short indication, good coding. So to improve the readability of Python code, it is recommended use space between operation, like this. Space it. Use descriptive variables. You can use as long as you want. Don't use 3 letters for a variable. So square root or whatever. Okay. Don't leave empty space within bracket for the index. So no empty space here. Use space after semicolon just to separate clear the variables. Use a single line for each statement instead of put all everything. So you make all these things. And comment everything. Comment everything. So you can read yourself and remember what you have right. Think about this. I always say this to my students that are in the master. Think that you are writing the code for as assigned in Sirius that know where you live. So make it easy to go and search for you. Okay, so we finished this today. Okay. I have some exercise that you can do for the next meeting that will be Friday. So you can send me or ask me, and I make some 20 question test there that you can actually it's there. Maybe you can see because it was in the classroom. I think yeah, the classroom you can. I think that you can access in classwork. There should be here. Classwork should be test this one. Oh, schedule for tomorrow now. I'm going to schedule now. Edit. I have not internet, sorry here. But I'm going to reschedule and you can do the test. It's 20 questions without laptop because you know just is 4 options, so only one is true. Okay. Okay. So I think we are done. Oh, it's now online. Yeah, it's online. Yeah, so you can try.
Okay.